Come on in the room.
CDC and the black demographics have put out some stats on us that put the black community in uproar.
And
We are officially last on everything, man.
I was waiting on Kevin. Come on in the room. So how was everybody's holidays?
The same. Ain't nothing changed.
Had a great holiday. Got some work done. Had some great time with the family, of course.
Ain't nothing changed.
Brought into the new year very nice as well.
Bill's still doing the first. That ain't changing. That ain't changing at all. And guess what? Even when you die, you still owe the Undertaker.
Still belong to the Undertaker?
You still owe him. You gotta pay him.
Callie! I keep hearing this stupid ass echo on my end, but we're just gonna go ahead and proceed. Is that feedback coming online too, Grace? Okay. What's up, Callie? Can everybody hear okay?
Yes, ma'am.
My bad, I was muted.
You was muted. Okay.
I've
been having some little technical difficulties, so I don't know what's going on. It wasn't doing this earlier. Ain't nobody but the devil.
All right, I appreciate everybody checking in, man.
Well,
Ain't
did you
nobody but
ask
the
him
devil.
permission? Did you
He
ask
said
him
the devil
permission?
mad.
Did you ask him permission to use his airwaves? Did you ask permission to use his airwaves?
I should have. I should have asked. It's definitely his domain.
Yeah, man.
I'm waiting on the main person, Kevin Clayton. So Kevin, if you watching, waiting on you, sir. I don't know. This echo is like driving me nuts.
Yeah, somebody probably off of somebody's computer is something's open and it's feeding back off of it. Sometimes you just have to put some headphones in. Somebody got to put some headphones in.
Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody one by one. I think I might be the problem, so hold on one second. Brian, can you go ahead and talk? I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, like I say, I'm open for. I'm ready for discussion. I'm here to ask questions. Get some questions answered. I have no malice in my heart. No ill will. For so long, we've been taught, do as I say, not as I do. That generation is over. These young folks do not have to come to mom and daddy for nothing. They got a phone in their hand. That's their first line of information, the phone. So we got to keep it real. We got to, even the things that are embarrassing, we got to keep it real. We got to expose it because they already know, especially if it's public record. What you gonna do?
Exactly. Callie, can you go ahead and say something? And then Elijah next, because I want to make sure that I think it's me that's causing the issue. So whoever want to, Callie, you can go first.
Mic check,
I'm gonna
mic
mute
check,
you,
mic
Brian.
check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
You're good. You're good. Elijah, go ahead.
Mic check 1 2 testing testing.
You good? I think it's me. Testing 1 2 3.
You got some other windows open?
Okay. Other than Facebook, that was it. That was the only thing that I had
Yeah,
open. But
sometimes
I
it
guess
just
it
simply takes
sounds
some
fine
hitting.
now.
Okay, cool.
It's just yeah, it sounds good now. I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't know where Kevin Clayton is just yet. But tonight's episode, episode 9, Kevin actually came up with the topic, celebrity weirdness, comedy beef, and then we're going to talk about the hip hop Holy Ghost swag surfing uh, pastors and preachers that's going on out here. So,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
We definitely
the
got to
first,
talk
I
about
wanted to
that.
just play this little clip right here.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
goodness, man. Woo! I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the first one. Is just a setup with how we all saw how Cat Williams, how he just, he came on the scene and he started throwing darts at everybody, just saying everything. I see a lot of people calling him the GOAT and all of this stuff because he's saying some truthful information, and calling Cedric the Entertainer out for stealing his stuff, and for people wearing dresses in their career, and unlike Dave Chappelle and himself, that they didn't have to go that route to do that. But I just want to ask, one thing I need to ask. Has he really been truthful and transparent and honest with all these claims that he's been telling everybody?
Mm.
Has he
Probably
really
not.
been truthful and honest and transparent?
Probably not.
No, and we're gonna because he's definitely been disingenuous.
Especially in the entertainment world, you never know what you can truly believe.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Especially in
agree.
the entertainment world.
I
Yes.
totally agree. And then I feel like I mean,
All right.
with can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you
Yes,
good, Kevin?
yes. You good,
Oh,
boss?
I was saying, and I feel like, as we already know, when they're making us look this way for something, what are we missing this way? Because everybody's looking over here.
There you go.
Usually, when it's something like this, that strong, it's something else going on somewhere else. And I mean, our people are so easily distracted, so easily distracted. So that's kind of where my head is at. What else is going on? Because we all looking here. So what else are we missing that's going on
Facts.
right now, right up under our
Hon-
nose?
Honestly and truly, I feel like media 9 times out of 10 is based in that type of aspect. They'll usually try to use something big or some type of big celebrity to catch everybody's attention and draw away from any type of real world problems that are actually going on, is something that we actually should be throwing our focus and energy towards.
I
Very
agree.
happy with
Absolutely,
that.
nephew. Absolutely.
Very
Uh,
We're gonna get into this first clip, you guys. I'm gonna add it to the scene, and I'm gonna mute everybody up, and we're gonna get into this first scene. I would probably hit pause a few times because I think it's some stuff I wanted to point out in this one, specifically dealing with Cat Williams and his disingenuousness.
Y'all know that's a shit. That shit was made for walking. Any nigga can walk to that shit. A crippled man can walk to that shit. Kick that bitch again. Yes, sir.
Don't play it again. I'm just saying that's the shit. I'm saying if you went to heaven and they was playing that song, you know it's finna be a party in heaven. You just walk in heaven.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling.
That shit was made for walking.
I'm gonna pause it because I want to ask you guys. So far, do y'all see any similarities? Do y'all see any similarities to the two skits?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's nothing new under the sun.
Say that for Brian.
I said there's nothing new under the sun.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Even
there's nothing new under the sun at all.
and even when we go to the Chris Rock and Will Smith slap thing that happened a long time ago. I seen the video for that. Exact same thing. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I
Oh
seen
wow.
it
So
long time ago. So there's nothing
so
new
why
under
is
the sun.
everybody
So
riding Kevin Hart? Why everybody riding Kevin Hart so bad, so hard? Not Kevin Hart, Cat Williams. Why are they riding him so hard, calling him the GOAT for calling out Cedric the Entertainer for stealing his shit and making Cedric the Entertainer look bad and basically diminishing in his character and his reputation.
Honestly, it's
Like we
very
pick and choose
strange.
which.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Auntie.
No, go ahead.
But to your point, it is strange that they pick and choose when they want to back somebody and when they want to be against somebody. Comedy is a very limited aspect sometimes with how unique you can get with certain things and certain aspects of it. Somebody's going to repeat what you've done before. It may not be exact, but that's the game.
True. That is the game. But you know how we are as, and I'm just gonna say as black folk, we pick and choose sides of who we're going to safeguard and who we're going to throw to the wolves. And then
Very
if you're
true.
not if you're not on team right now, if you're not on team cat, then you being called a coon and this, that, and the third and all, and you know, because somebody black, I mean I gotta be on your team. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, and we all have witnessed that in true time.
Mm.
and that's what they
Well,
gon'
look here.
Oh, okay.
That's
What I
what they
told you
better
like this
learn.
here.
All skin folk ain't kin
Thank
folk,
you.
man.
I like
It's
that.
like this here, Wanda. I told you earlier. Safeguard Mama Halo, but expose Daddy Horns.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mama keep her.
That's so deep because
Mama keep her.
that's what we do as a culture.
Yeah.
Mama
True.
keep her white gown. Daddy get his horns exposed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm. All
And
right,
it definitely seemed like that's what we
I'm
dealing with.
gonna go back to playing the video. Huh?
I didn't say. I was saying that's
It is a
definitely what
lag
we
on my
dealing with.
end.
Yeah, you probably got a delay.
Yes, I do, and I'm sorry, y'all.
You gotta get you some
All
headphones.
right, this is the second part right here coming up.
Don't play it again. I'm just saying that's the shit. I'm saying if you went to heaven and they was playing that song, you know it's finna be a party in heaven. You just walk in heaven.
Every day I'm hustling.
I was wondering back in the this is like, yeah, this is so good.
That's a shit! Woo, girl, you know a song is a shit. If you can stand online waiting for your food stamps to the beat of that motherfucker, conduct it again!
At the library, see how that shit feel. You just in the library.
Every day I'm hustling.
And that's the shit.
Y'all know that's a shit!
Well,
In plain
similarities and no similarities. 'Cause I got some people who was
Similarities.
telling me that there was no similarities to this.
I don't see how they can say that honestly and truthfully.
I mean,
That
there
they
it
could say
is.
that it wasn't any similarities.
Yeah, I genuinely don't see how you. It's quite literally the same thing, different songs, slightly different jokes.
Yeah.
Where's the big detail change at for you?
a different
Like I
time.
said earlier, when you got specific celebrities that come on the scene and they start saying things that we deem as truthful or something that goes highly with our opinions, then we feel that they're correct in their stance and what they're saying. And now they're labeling Cat Williams as this guru of wokeness and calling people out on the carpet. But when you call him out on the carpet for the same shit, people get upset about it because you're not on Team KATT.
True.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a time where it's better to be liked than to be right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ooh.
You know,
Damn, that's good.
we
That's
don't want to
good.
hear the truth.
Brian, I see you trying to say something.
Now I'm saying that's deep there.
Yeah,
That's deep.
that's the time we're
Yeah,
in,
y'all,
man.
y'all hit me. I forgot about the halo and horns and what Callie just said. You know, it's like it's better to be
Light.
wrong, look good and wrong,
Yeah.
be loud and wrong, and people accept loud and wrong.
Yeah.
Stand on that.
Everything is entertainment right now. Everything is, and for this to be the so-called woke era, man, I say if this is woke, what y'all call woke, don't wake me up at all.
At all.
Let
Yeah,
me
get my ass asleep.
Yeah,
Because none of this stuff is
This ain't it.
is really not.
This ain't it. And you know, and whether people realize it or not, these celebrities, when you get to that status, that level, to me, you're always compromised. You're always compromised when you get to a certain level. Always compromised. So it's hard to take any of their words as truth and for validation, because I know they always compromise when they get to those levels, which
everything is
brings
always
me
planned
into
in
our
everything is always planned in media. Everything.
Right. Programming.
Yeah.
Programming.
Yeah, predictive programming, mass media.
Yes.
I call it mass media manipulation.
Yeah, definitely.
Mass media manipulation.
Actually, that's one of the things I'm going to be dealing with in season 2 of our story is the introduction of television.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the topics in season 2.
Good.
Yeah, the introduction of television.
Okay. Yeah, y'all gotta check our story out. It's dope. Yeah. I forgot to let y'all do your introductions, but we'll get to that at some point. But
right.
but just to pin this right quick, go check out our story on YouTube as well as Facebook for Indigenous people, because we all don't come from Africa. We're not all of us are not African Americans. So, but I think Callie does a tremendous job of a timeline of showing how things were shifted from when we were one group of people to now to what we are being labeled as at this day and time. But just to get back to what we were saying, everything is the media dictates our culture. You know, regardless of what a lot of people say, I think the media dictates our surroundings, and then because these celebrities, they have such a huge influence on everybody.
Over our daily lives.
Influence. And you know, especially our young children, they have a huge influence over these kids. Case in point, I want to just play this. I want to not play a video. I want to show this picture of just also to go back with Cat Williams, how he just upped Dave Chappelle and himself so much for not having to dress or portray as a woman. But I'm pretty sure if y'all remember the scenes from
Friday,
Robin Hood Men in Tight, when he portrayed himself as a female.
Who did? I never seen it.
I think this is the right clip. Oh, you never seen it? Oh man. Oh, here we go. I was looking
he dressed up as a female on the Chappelle show. Ain't no way he didn't.
I never worn these shoes. This don't match my purse. Blinking, fix your boobs. You look like a bleeding Picasso. Oh, goodness gracious.
So that was the scene where he was portraying himself as a woman. Now I know most people, somebody would be like, "Oh, he ain't really got on a dress, and he wore dresses during that time." But the language that he chose to use, or the language that was written for him to use, he went along with it. So does that make him just as guilty as the same people that he's pointing his fingers at with Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, Cedric the Entertainer, and all of those guys? Does it make him a liar, basically?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, they'll find ways to wiggle out of it. you know,
Right.
or justify it, to where it to where it can cause doubt. That's all it needs to do is cause doubt.
It's called
You know,
deflection.
yeah,
Yeah,
And that's a
yeah.
fact. Once something comes
Oh
into
man,
question, that
yes.
bell can never be unrung.
And here we are again. It's just a way to divide people. That's confuse people. It's keep people confused. Is he wearing a dress? No, he's not wearing a dress. Oh, did he speak the language? Oh, no, he didn't speak the language. Confusion. This world is it runs off of that.
Oh,
it's crazy.
this is like another. I think this is another clip with not that one. I saw Bishop Jamal come on for a hot second. I thought he was going to come in. But I just want to play this one other clip with Dave Chappelle. I think it's this one. I got it somewhere. Oh, one sec. All right, here we go.
Brahman's gonna do the news.
This thing
We
like
got some great
that.
guests coming in. Hey, what are you guys laughing at so much? I think I'm paying them too much, jerks. All right, let's plug our new video about my movie's Bonanza. Robin, you saw the tape. What do you think of it?
Well, Howard,
Hey, Robin, what's the matter with you? You have a cold?
as a matter of fact, I do.
Really? Probably a chest cold.
There you go. There you go.
I don't understand why everybody on so hard riding Cat Williams so hard that he just like I don't get it. Like the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because people are just so disingenuous about who they want to worship, who they want to be the spokesperson. But when you got people like Cat Williams, who's been arrested like 19 times, ain't had one conviction,
Ain't did no
you
time.
know, did no
Yeah,
time, got beat up by a seventh grader.
yeah,
That's what I was going to bring up because that was very big for my generation. We talked
yeah.
about that for the
I can't forget it.
longest. That's what I'm saying. And then we just went so straight back to forgiving him as if nothing happened, as if that time just got erased.
Hey, you got to think about this. Those seventh graders been fighting. They get a new dad every weekend, so they've been fighting every
Every
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah,
They get a new
Wait,
stepdad
you
every
said what?
weekend.
yeah.
They got a new
Well,
dad. They got a
that's
new child with a
That's
new
a
boss every
good
week.
point.
They get a new
Good
stepdad
point.
every weekend.
That is a good point.
Good point.
That is a very
So
good point.
they used to fighting grown men.
I mean, and Cat ain't nothing. I mean,
I
he
don't
was
know.
his
We can call
size.
him a grown man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cat
Call him half a
5'5".
grown man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
hey,
he's 5'5". Now you about my height, so you
you
know
gotta
he's
imagine that.
5'5", so that's
You
that's
gotta
okay.
imagine that
To
little
a
young
seventh
dude
grader, that's nothing.
Yeah, he probably done wrestled the seniors in the gym or something, and probably done took some of
Have you
them
seen?
down. And
Have you
Cat
seen
smaller
seventh
than
graders
them.
nowadays? Seventh
Yeah,
graders are
right.
about my size.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, these
Some
young
ridiculous
Thundercats now,
But
you got to
it,
put
but
that
it, but
iron
it's
on
so,
them.
but he gets, huh?
I said these young Thundercats now, you got to put that iron on them. They
Somebody,
big now.
somebody was
They
saying
big
something.
now.
These young Thundercats big now.
You gotta
They
put that
are.
iron on them.
You
You
got to put
had
that
that bigger
iron on
tool.
them. Yeah. You got
Yeah,
to put that
it's
iron on them.
a different
And
breed of youngins out here.
Yeah.
and
You got to put
ironically
that iron.
speaking, to Cat Williams, when I'm on social media, often I see a lot of times people compare, especially as of late, comparing the comedians from like back in the day, like how their game has changed or who was better. And a lot of people from our gen, they really say that Cat Williams was not one of their top funny comedians. Like, and that's very very funny to me, seeing as how much of an impact he had on the game at the time.
Yeah, I
When you
mean,
look at the
Now I
comparison,
will say, he's a funny guy. Now I wouldn't take that
You're not
away
gonna
from
scale.
him. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
he's definitely
Cat,
a very comical
you
person.
gotta look at it, but Cat is a very smart businessman. Everything he
There you
touches,
go.
he owns 100 outright.
Mm.
Everything he touches, he owns. So that's why he can walk around. Y'all think he broke? He's not broke.
Not at all.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
I
leading
literally
us.
was
They leading
wondering
us
where
where
the
they
hell
want
he's
us to
getting all
go.
this money from.
Yeah, everything he
Huh?
owns, everything he touches, he owns.
Yeah,
I literally was wondering like where he was getting all this money from because
Well, Cat Williams do like
I
150 to 200 shows a year, every year.
Yeah,
He do
he's still yeah.
every year.
yeah, he's on tour. He's still
Yeah,
on. Yeah. Matter of
His
fact, he
shows
got
don't
one of
get
the.
as much.
I was not aware of.
Yeah, he
That's
got one of
Because
the.
his
like
shows
I
don't
said,
get as much
I
social
haven't seen him in
influence.
so long, so I didn't think he was doing anything. I hadn't seen him in
yeah.
so
Yeah, he's
long.
touring. He got one of the
Social media just
I
comedians
thought he
from
was
controls
right
that.
here.
really irrelevant.
One of the comedians that I knew before she blew up. She's on tour with him now. She was
Oh
just a
wow.
local comedian here in Atlanta, and I was talking to her before she, when she was just doing IG comedy. Now she's actually a part of his team now.
Yeah, they say Cat cut them checks. They say
Yeah,
Cat.
that's
They
what
say
they
he cut
say.
them checks.
Wow, I mean, hey, that's
Listen, this is where I'm at with it. This is kind
I
of
mean,
where
yeah,
I'm
I
at
heard
with it.
he's
I'm I'm just trying to get an understanding what it was all about.
Oh, be
To
right
me,
back.
I look at it like this: he's on tour. I think he's got a project coming out. I
He's
mean,
drumming up
promotion,
publicity.
yeah,
Yeah,
publicity.
publicity.
He
Absolutely.
did exactly what he was hoping would happen, was have people talking about him if he has a project coming out. Now the tactics he
mm.
used, though, I mean, was it worth it? Was it? I mean, I don't know. Like, you attacked almost everybody, but why?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see the relevance for him to just even come out and have this
But
conversation. Like
he
this was completely random. I
Yeah,
felt like there was nothing that really
but
triggered this this
look who he made
conversation.
relevant again though.
I think that's the point. Like this is all just for
Look who he
relevance, like
made
for something
relevant
that's
again
coming up.
though.
Steve Harvey.
I mean, you can look at it
Hmm.
from
Yeah. So does Steve Harvey got anything popping and Cedric the Entertainer? You know, like it's but they do this stuff all the time and we jump right on the bandwagon every
all
single
right.
time. We
That's
pick and
right.
choose every single time. Every single time it never fails. And
Yeah,
people literally fall out with you over celebrities that don't know a damn thing about them, don't even know they exist, but they're so invested into these celebrities' lives when you got people right next door to you that you can talk to, that you can help, that you
it's
can push their
part of
businesses. But we don't do that shit.
order out of chaos and confusion. That's what this world runs off of. So Cat is the savior right now. This all goes back to me thinking about the speech of Malcolm X, or when Malcolm X was speaking, and he was talking about we're the only people who let entertainers lead us.
And politicians, yeah.
And
Mm.
politics, yeah, like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
why?
You, yeah,
Why?
you're
And
right.
sports players, and these are our leaders. Why? No other races don't have entertainers making
Leading us.
decisions for them. They have people in those
That is
respective
so true.
positions making decisions for them, and we have rappers.
Informed decisions.
Yeah, yeah. I
That
mean, yeah, it's a part of the plan, and we keep going right along with it. We continue to go right along with it, but we so woke. We so woke.
speaking
I'm
of
glad you
that,
said that, Kelly. Ooh, that's crazy.
Kanye is not a comedian that we're speaking of on the topic, but he's an entertainer in the same aspect. And the amount of people that really would actually vote for him to be president if he actually ran just for it to be funny would
He'll,
genuinely make
he'll,
no sense. Like that's
he'll win.
it's exactly that's what's so
He'll
mind-boggling
win.
about it. He truly would have a shot at winning just for people making funny votes.
Simply because of entertainment. We love to be entertained.
Entertaining.
We
That's why everybody
love
looks
to
at us
be
as a joke
entertained.
as a country.
Right.
He'll win. He'll win.
Now, this particular picture that I'm showing, I don't know. I think can you guys see this?
I don't see
I'm
any.
sharing my screen because for some reason it's not allowing me to
I don't see
upload
anything on my
the
screen.
actual picture that I had saved in there. Do you see anything?
No.
No, I don't see anything.
No, I'm about to say I see it on.
I see it at the
No,
bottom, but
Okay.
not
At the
not
that's
bottom.
what I'm about to
on.
say. I see it at the bottom on our side, but I don't see it anywhere else. No, I can see it in the
Okay, yeah.
participant
For some
screen.
reason it's not. Okay, there it is. Okay, let me add. Okay, okay, there
There
it
it is.
is.
Okay, got
All
it.
right, so this picture here, I hope it's not showing all my other pictures, but I ain't got no new coochie shots or nothing in there, so I already deleted
You
those.
good? You
But
good?
anyway,
He said I already
this
deleted
this picture right
So on out.
it. You're crazy.
Monte, if you can't zoom in
what I
just a
couldn't
little bit
understand is
more
why
for,
zoom in a
Yeah.
little bit
Is there,
more.
yeah, is there a
just a
way we
little bit
can zoom
more.
in?
Okay, hold on. I think so. Hold on. Let me. Yes.
Uh-oh.
How's that? Is that? There we go. Can y'all see that a little bit better with the skirts, the kilts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so I had that picture up. I posted that picture the other day because I saw where Kevin Hart was so hard, and I keep saying Kevin Hart, but
Cat
Littlefoot, Cat
Williams.
Williams, where he kept bashing Kevin Hart and them for wearing dresses, and so I started thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I know I seen LeBron James dress up as Flo from the Progressive commercial with these, as y'all can see, he got them little tight
Mhm,
ass shorts on, like he about to get a yeast infection or something. And then
mhm.
everybody else is in kilts. Now, I was going back and forth with Kevin, who was supposed to have been on here tonight, because he's saying that, well, these are kilts and not skirts, and that I'm just condemning them because basically, I don't know, maybe I'm cooning or something like that. I'm just picking on these black men or whatever because I'm not saying anything about white guys, but white guys is not my focal point because these are the men that our generation, our young kids are looking up to and looking at. So these are the guys that I'm going to focus on. So
Right.
if we can, if and my whole thing to him was like, well, if they can wear kilts and which look like skirts, why Cat Williams ain't say nothing about these guys? Like, what makes them so separate and so special that they don't get the attention for wearing this? Now, if you guys saw something like this, would y'all not think that this? Do y'all even think this is feminine? First of all, let's start there.
Well, let me start. Let me start. I'm pretty much been around the world 3 times, okay? Different cultures have different aspects for men. So we as Western black men do
Right.
not fit in that culture.
Right.
Okay, so I'm
Exactly.
saying he's wearing a dress. Matter of fact, you have to be a part of that Shamrock community to even get one. Boys don't start wearing those till they turn of age. Boys don't get a
So they
Shamrock
start
or
with
quick
talking about
till they
like,
turn of age. Usually 13 when they start producing semen. So they don't get that till they
mm.
turn 13.
So why is it so acceptable for? Why is it coming across as it's acceptable for these guys to wear this attire versus these guys who also is wearing feminine outfits?
It's
Why
called
why why those guys, LeBron,
easy.
why they're not getting dragged?
It's called attack the low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Mm.
Attack the weakest link. Attack the weakest link.
yeah, and again, it's to cause a division, conversation, confusion. It's meant to do what it's doing. Well, he got a dress on. That's not a dress. That's a kilt. That's not a dress. That's whatever they wear in the Middle East. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's to keep people divided.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take it a little further. I'm gonna push the
Okay.
button right now. Most of these guys you see in that picture, the first thing they say when they win a game, thank Jesus. Okay. Now, what does your Bible say about men wearing women garments?
I'm sure
It's
it
a
ain't.
sin.
I'm sure it ain't nothing good.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they say they are so Christian, like, well, do what your Christian SOP tell you to do. Stay out of women's dresses.
Bishop, you know they don't care about what that book say.
They
It's about what
Half of
they
them never
feel.
read it.
It's
Half of them
about
never
what
exactly.
read
they
it.
feel. It's about what they feel.
Exactly. They don't care about what the book say
They don't care about what
at
the book
all.
say.
I
No,
mean,
no.
at
But
all.
that's what they stand behind. Try
That what
opening up and reading
they
it.
supposed to.
Try opening up and reading it.
Here we go. Here we go. Try opening it up and reading it.
But they don't have a problem with this. They don't
With
have a
what?
problem. They don't have a problem with this guy. Some of them don't have a problem with this guy right here,
Well, that's because they don't know their
Bishop
book,
William
obviously.
Murphy.
Because if you knew your book, you definitely would have a problem with it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this here. If it
Go ahead,
bring
Bishop.
money, whatever, I've been behind the scenes with these guys before they had. These guys don't even believe what they stand in the pulpit.
No, they don't.
It's a money grab, and they know
Hey,
we looking for the next savior, the next feel good.
that's right. Next feel good.
Every
That's
artist, a rap artist, R&B artist, they looking for the next big hit, and this is what it is.
That's all it is.
This is the next money grab.
Yep.
Guess what? He sold tickets for his night watch service, $150 a pop. It's sold out.
Yeah.
Wow.
You talking about William Murphy? Wait, he sold tickets for $150?
From front row, it's different where you want to sit at. He sold
That is
tickets. He tell you
bananas.
that.
It's entertainment. Entertainment.
You can't even go to church. Church is a monthly invoice that most people who go can't afford.
Listen, man, I'm gonna let you step into the topic, and then I'll go a little with my opinions. I'll let you set it up though. Go ahead and whenever you're ready. I don't want to jump too far in on my thoughts.
Do it. I know.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Bishop.
I've been behind the closed doors. These guys, they don't. I'm telling you.
America is just so biased. It's all about what I like, what you don't like. It's always going to be a clash.
Are you gonna play a video of that, or what?
No, that was no.
You just wanted to show. Are we going into that topic now?
That was something that I posed. Yes, yeah. That was something I asked. Of course, not a whole lot of people said much about it, but the people that did say something about. Let me stop sharing my screen. But the people that did say something about it, I got a lot of, oh, it's a time and a place for that.
What is it?
And I'm like, okay, there's a time and place for that. That's, to me, that's the wrong answer that any Christian should say.
I agree.
Because that's not music that y'all supposed to be listening to at any point in time.
No.
Like that's our music. That's sinners music. Leave our secular shit alone. That's for us to get down to, not y'all.
So how I'm looking at it,
Callie.
because I was going to do a video on this, right? Now, when we look at that book, that book tells you cannot serve two masters. The book tells you can't. I mean, forget what you feel, because what did the book say? I mean, because if I'm on the outside looking in as a non-believer, I'm just on the outside looking at y'all. Now, if you're not even scared of your own God or respecting your own God, or afraid of any, why should I be? Why should I be? I listened to the lyrics you played at that church. You didn't change the lyrics. They was in there talking about Patron and bubble gum and different strands of weed in the church.
Hands on your knees.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Now, if I was into that church, I would love to go to that type of church. You can get to smoke weed, drink, and do all other shenanigans that you normally do. Like that's a sinner's paradise right there.
It basically, because let's talk about what he said, right? Let's talk about what he came back and said. Peace, Bishop. What's happening?
Trouble is in the room.
Let's talk about what he said. I listened to his reply to all the backlash he was getting, right? One thing he said was, he saved a lot of souls that night. Where? Saved them from what? And how do we know you saved anything from anywhere? Because according to your book, you're not even supposed to, what does it say? Preach the word where there's music.
Yep.
It's in the book. Right. It's in the book. I mean, I'm just on the outside looking in. I'm looking at y'all. And I'm just saying, so where did he save me to? Because he's leading me to the slaughter. I mean, I get it. We like to be entertained. Never mind what God's word said. Never mind what the book say. We're going to go with what the pastor that we like says. We're going to go with what feels good to us. Never mind the book. So if I'm on the outside looking in, if you don't care about the book, why should I care about your book?
Well, let me step in, Kelly.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hit them with scriptural content. The Bible said, "Unbelievers, be ye separated." Be ye separated.
Facts.
Be ye separated.
That's right.
Times change, but Hebrews say God is the same as today, yesterday, and forevermore. He don't change. Okay, according to the book, he don't change. So why are you changing him? Okay.
Yeah.
My biggest thing again is come from amongst them, and be ye separated.
It makes sense to me.
My second question is: these so-called pastors, are they earthly gods?
Facts. There we go.
Black households are failing because church keep black women single.
Facts.
A black woman spend 40 hours in the church, take all her money to the church, and say, "Why can't find me no man?" Well, because you in the church. Guess what? Pastor breaking you home, so you ain't. Pastor breaking you home, so you don't need no nigga in your life.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
Religion and gender.
I done been around some of the best of the best. I'm telling you, they are screwing these women.
Yeah.
And men.
Yeah. And men. Guess what? A lot of these deacons are raising the pastor babies.
Wow.
Oh, that's Deacon Joe's son, huh?
Yeah.
That's why he look. That's why he looked just like Deacon Joe with that mole on his forehead.
I'm telling you, a lot of these. Why go to church when I can stay home and get abused, get molested? I can stay. Most of these people can stay at home and get molested, get talked down to. I'm a filthy rag. My mama tell me that. My mama and daddy tell me I ain't nothing every day, so I got to come to church and pay you to tell me that I'm a filthy rag. I don't deserve his grace. But who in the hell do? Okay, let me take me. I am an orphan child. I have no mama, no daddy, okay? Both was taken from me from an early age. By the book, I should have sent it like Enoch. He should have came and took me off this earth when I lost both my parents at 5 years old. Do you know what a 5-year-old had to do when you leave both your parents? I had to become violent because they put you in a system called a boys' home. Okay? So I'm telling you, when I went there in the 80s, my booty hole was a virgin because I fought for it. Okay?
Well, that's what Cat Williams said.
I fought for it. Okay?
Cat Williams said the same thing. He had booty.
I'm telling you. And they send me to these churches, and guess who want to fill on me? The deacons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In God's name.
In God's name.
In the name of Jesus.
Okay. I'm telling you.
What's up?
I'm telling you what I know.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I say again, why should these kids today are not fooled. They don't need us to answer questions. They got a telephone in their hand. They got a phone in their hand. And they can look up they don't have to ask us about sex anymore. They got right there in their hands. Because they figure if I ask mama, what age when you start having sex? Girl, only person touch me was your daddy. You see the lives?
Instead of being real and teaching them history, teaching them a lesson.
Girl, only person touched me
History.
was your daddy. Glory be to God. But see, what's going on
But
now is what's going on now, these females can go hold themselves out and go find religion, get baptized, and become a new creature. No, they don't. You still got the same old coochie.
Yeah.
is that the Boaz that they're trying to get to?
They go
They're
baptize
trying to get to
themselves.
their Boaz in the Bible,
Hey,
right?
you
Yeah.
don't know Boaz. Boaz busted nut and died that night.
Damn.
Boaz busted nut and died that night.
Good Lord.
He never seen a break of day. You already a single baby mama. You
But
want to go through that again? Go get your
they're looking
Boaz.
for their Boaz.
Go
They
get
they
Boaz, and you're gonna be
they
able to laugh
going to church,
ass.
listen, getting their Boaz. They listening to the same music that we're listening to. They go to the same clubs that we go to.
Listen.
They do the same things as,
Oh,
and I'm saying we because I know not any one of us are into religion. So
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm using the correct
yeah.
pronouns,
I agree.
yeah, they do the same thing that we do. So how do we separate
Separated.
the two from, how do we separate the two?
Well, they
See,
got
that's
grace.
the thing.
Mr. Jamal,
They
you've been
got
itching to
grace.
go ahead.
I am.
You've
I
been
am.
itching to go.
I'm itching and I need to
Go
scratch.
ahead.
I
The
need to
floor is
scratch.
yours.
See, that's the
The
thing.
floor is yours.
Okay. You see, that's the thing, man. These people do not take their faith seriously. That's the thing. They don't take their faith seriously. So how the hell do you expect us to take your faith seriously? Because
Exactly.
y'all do not take your faith seriously. That's the
Exactly.
problem right there. Let me tell you, these folks don't. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care what they're preaching.
Go ahead.
These jokers do not believe in God. These jokers do not believe in the devil. These jokers do not believe in heaven. These jokers do not believe in hell because if they did, they would be living a different kind of life. They don't believe what they
Hello.
preaching.
Hello. Now
That
I'm
look,
They
I'm on the
do.
outside
look,
looking in.
that is it.
I'm on the outside
They
looking in.
do not take. I
They
don't
don't.
expect anything less because they do not take their faith seriously. It is a fucking joke to them.
It's a and why should I and me on the outside looking in, you trying to win me over and I'm looking at you. And you don't take your God. You don't take your God serious.
Yeah, and you expect me to? You gonna
You
preach
expect
to
me
me?
to.
Come
No.
on. Listen, let me tell you something. I gotta be careful what I say, but I'm just gonna go back in time. Let me go back in time when I was in the religious world. I mean, I could say some present day stuff to be honest with you. Okay? All right. I've been in the same places as some of these folks, seeing them do the same stuff. I mean, ain't no shame in my game. I'm gonna do what
Oh,
I
you
do.
definitely
I'm
will.
gonna do it loud and proud. I mean, everybody know that by now. My family don't like that, but I'm tired of playing games. I ain't
All right.
pretending. I am who I am, and I'm authentically
Right.
me, and I love everything about me. But the things that I'm doing, that I'm honest with myself about, some of these people do it with me. Is what I'm getting
That's
to.
right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
They go to sit at the same bars I sit at,
Mm-hmm.
drink the same things I drink, cuss just as much as I cuss. You understand what I'm saying?
Swag surf. They swag and surf like you do. They walk it out like you too.
There is no. And
As we
here's the
seen.
thing. I think somebody asked the question. They was like, "Where do we separate?" That's the problem. There is no fucking separation. We're all humans. Damn, you hear me? We're all human beings. There is no separation. Call yourself and label yourself whatever you want to label yourself. You still a human. That's all you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
People love to put on the perfect
And
Sunday persona.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
I
it
mean,
when
Sunday
it
what,
comes to
Christian
that,
the
persona.
thing.
go ahead.
No, it's I got this stupid delay, so I don't know when y'all done. Just put your hand up because it's
So
dumbass delays getting on my nerves.
so let me say this, right? Just going back to this situation, because I've been wanting to talk about this. I'm actually gonna do a video on this because I need people to see where I'm coming from as a non-believer on the outside looking in, right? I listened to
Right.
this pastor. I listened to his response to the community, to the people, about what went on that night. This is what I tell people about that book when you read it. You're going to find contradictions in that book. Okay? So one of the things he came on and said was, see, we got to be like Paul said. We got to be all things to all people. All right, Pastor. Well, if we're going to go with, if that's what you're trying to, justify that with, right? You have a contradiction in the book then that tells you are those that are of the world do not have the love of the Father or whatever. If you're of the world, you don't have the love of the Father. It tells you can't serve two masters. Huh? Yeah, so we're looking at contradictions.
I'm gonna try to get on treadmill tomorrow if I take BJ. Try.
We're looking at contradictions, and this is what I be telling these believers. Like this book, the same book that tells you don't kill, tells you to kill. If that was my last question to get into heaven, either way I answer it, I'm wrong. The same book that tells you to love your enemy tells you to hate your enemy. If that's my last question to get into heaven, I ask people all the time, as a believer, this devil that y'all talk about, I don't know about a devil. Never seen a devil. I don't know what a devil is. But according to y'all, there's this thing called a devil that y'all are scared of, I guess. If this devil person, according to y'all, what is he to y'all? Is this y'all friend or is he an enemy? Because the book tells me to love my enemy. And if I ask you, is the devil your friend or enemy? You say he's my enemy. If that's my last question to go into heaven, and God says, did you love your enemy? Did you love the devil? You see what I'm saying? How does this work? That's just me. That's just us thinkers asking those type questions. These are red flags for me. It's red flags. You tell me we should be like all things to all people. This is what this pastor used. This was the scripture he used to justify what he did. But never mind that it says you cannot serve two masters and you can't be of the world and have the love of the Father. Like, this is what your book say. I ain't make it up. I'm just reading what's in your book. I'm just reading what's in there. That's all I'm saying. I didn't write the book. This is the book y'all follow. This y'all guideline when y'all want it to be.
What I don't understand is the blatant hypocrisy of believers, because there are some believers who's on the side of understanding that there must be a separation between sinners and saints. Yeah. Because if you're going to draw somebody back to Christ, somebody like myself who left church religion, I should say, who left religion because of all the inconsistencies, the things that wasn't lining up from reality to spirituality. We never saw a talking donkey, a talking snake. There's never been anybody in the historicity of mankind within our own families from generation to generation said that this thing actually took place. So when I started looking at it and using my own logical common sense, I had to make some questions. I had to make some hard decisions like, well, do I really believe in this? But did I even really believe in some of this stuff? And because I really didn't really believe in a lot of those things, when I sinned, I used that as my justification to say, well, God understood. He made me. He knew I was going to do this. All I have to do is just ask for forgiveness. By me asking for forgiveness, that automatically was my safety net into getting into heaven. However, the contradiction lies in the teaching that states that they tell us that if Christ comes in a nanosecond and catches you in sin, you're going to hell. So my whole thing with believers is this. You cannot say that you believe in God and you believe in heaven and hell, but then you go out and do all these sinful things because man don't see you. Your God still sees you. Your God is still omnipotent. Your God is still ever present. So does it really matter whether the lyrics is being sung at church or at home? Because you're at home, you're doing the same thing. We just can't see you. Us humans can't see you, but your God still sees you. So are you really worried about your God, or are you worried about these humans?
Come on.
That is my whole issue with Christianity and those that serve and say they doing this and doing that. They don't even serve, they don't even follow all 600 commandments.
At
Only
all.
a few of the 10.
Listen, man. Let's just
And
be
if it
real.
wasn't, if it wouldn't, yes,
Listen. This is what I just want to say. If you really read that book, and you believe in this book, you will understand that there is no way following this book that you would ever make it into some place called a heaven. You wouldn't. It's contradictions
absolutely
all
not.
through the book. There's no way you would ever make it into this place called heaven. This is where you should understand that, come on now, this
Right.
doesn't sound like any all-loving God that wrote this and then to dumb your God down, to leave a book here to be manipulated. One minute you tell me this God is just so brilliant and then you dumb him down to a book. That like, when I hear you say this God left his word in a book? A book. I mean, a book that he's watching people manipulate for control. To control people.
A book that don't even have all the words.
It's
Right.
Some of the stuff have been taken out of it. So
you
how
dumb
do you
your
even know that
God
you're
down.
serving God at your full capacity?
Exactly. I think your God would be very more intelligent. I mean, I just look at the way this universe is designed. I look at the way us as humans are designed. I look at nature, how intelligently
Yes.
it's designed.
Amazing.
And then you tell me this guy dumbed himself down and said, I'm gonna leave a book. I'm gonna give you my word in a book. Not I'm gonna install it in you and then allow you to follow it or not follow it. I don't want anyone to interpret it to you in any type of way. I want you to know how I am saying this, and I'm going to put it in your DNA, and you choose to follow it or not.
Yeah.
Can't nobody manipulate. A book.
The book is the problem. You hit the nail on the head, Chief. The book is the problem. And here's another contradiction in the whole Christian faith. They call it, and I talked about this at our center on Sunday. They call this a personal relationship. They say you ought to have a personal relationship with God. All right? But then they dumb it down, as you stated. Have a personal relationship with God, but it's got to align with what this book says. Well, that's not a personal relationship. A personal relationship means I go out there, I find this God, I experience this God for myself, and my personal interactions with this God determines what the characteristics of this God is. But if my determination of what God is based on somebody else's thoughts in a book, then it's not a personal relationship. That's not personal. It's not personal at all.
That's forgery.
The book is the problem.
And we refuse because and then I'll say this, when I talk to a lot of believers, man, and I just ask them, why do you believe what you believe? I get what you believe. I get it. Why do you believe it though? You know, many of them can't even tell you why. And then as I ask them little questions, or I get them to answer their own questions, right? At the end of it all, I say it's fear. At the end of, you don't believe in this God. You don't believe in this book. You don't believe in this heaven or hell. It's fear. Just in case it is real. Just in case.
I was about to say, it's the fear is I'm scared that this might be real.
It possibly could be. But here's the thing though, Bishop. here's the thing though, Bishop, right? So we call that what? Pascal's wager, right?
Yes.
When we
yes.
deal with okay, right? Well, here's the thing. There's over 4,200 different estimated religions practiced on this earth. So just because you believe in this God, that don't mean you ain't going to somebody else's God's hell.
That's right.
Pascal's wager. Just in case, I'm a follower. How do you know you're following the right God?
That's right.
You don't even know if you're following the right guy. You might have supposed to have been a Muslim or something else. How do you know you're not going to those guys' hills?
Especially if you're basing that God on an inconsistent book. So many inconsistencies, man, like you've already stated.
Humans wrote this. Humans.
Exactly.
We don't even know. We don't know. Everything we know about these gods and whatever, humans told us about these gods. Somebody told us.
That's the thing. In the beginning,
man created
God in his own image.
Yeah.
That
book got too many mistakes for this to be your intelligent God.
Let me build it. You know, I often ask people, I said, if I go to the library, I can pick any book off the library shelf and read it in English, right? But when I come to a religious book, I need a spirit to invade my body in order to get some understanding of this book.
Well, Bishop,
can you please?
Bishop, well, whose understanding should we follow?
Here's my answer to this.
Because we're not supposed to lean to our own understanding according to that book.
That scripture held me in bondage for years. What it is, they don't want you to ask questions.
They don't want you to ask questions.
Because we have been instructed, this man in the pulpit was ascended from God, by God. If you question him, you questioning God. And that's death for questioning that man. When I say that's a Negro, like I'm a Negro.
That's right.
God just bypassed me, huh? Yeah. Go to the past.
Yes, sir. Here's the thing. I said, how can you say, see, people have a hard time accepting the fact that Jesus was a human being. If he was a human being, have he ever busted a nut? If he ain't never busted a nut, he can't stand in my, he can't walk in my shoes.
He ain't experienced what I experienced.
You can't experience what I'm experiencing.
Well,
if he never busted a nut.
Can we put a pin? Can we put a pin right there? I want to pin that right there for a second, y'all, because I wanted to go there anyway, but you're already there. So I think somebody mentioned the fact about nature a few minutes ago, in that if we model ourselves after nature, and whatever nature does, we're supposed to be doing the same thing. And my question to you, since we're talking about human sexual experiences, I just really need to know, how did the Holy Spirit get semen impregnate Mary? Because that is like one of the most baffling miracles that I have ever read within the Bible. A Holy Spirit. So I mean, you wasn't married to Mary, who Mary was already betrothed to somebody else.
Right.
And then that's breaking a commandment right there. Because we're talking about, if we're looking at this in like how it's written out in the Bible, because like Brian said, we're reading this with a natural mindset, because these words mean something to us in the natural sense. They don't mean grape means grape means grape in whether it's a spirit or whether it's a natural. So it don't take on a new definition just because you're reading the spiritual mindset. So how did the Holy Spirit impregnate a human being, a physical being? I just need somebody to really make that make sense for me, because that shit don't make no sense to me. Seriously.
Well,
go Callie. Somebody help me. Help me, Holy Ghost.
This is what I'm going to say. I've got a song right now that I'm getting ready to drop called God's Eyes. And in the song, in my chorus, one thing I say in that chorus is, in this grown-up fairy tale of religion, it don't have to make sense, just as long as you choose to believe it. It don't have to make sense. It's a belief. It don't have to make sense when it comes to religion, when it comes to this book, when it comes to these gods. It does not have to make sense. And when we as thinkers read this book, we clash with it. Why?
Mhm.
Because we think. We're thinking. We're not just believing. How dangerous is it to go through everyday life just believing something because somebody told you to believe it? How dangerous is that? That's very dangerous. So I say this, it doesn't have to make sense. It's a lot of stuff in that book that doesn't make sense. But because you're a believer,
Faith.
somehow you
faith.
make it make sense.
Let me tell you how much that particular idea does not make sense.
So
In
we pretty
reality.
much, and then we do that all across the board. Then, if that's the case, right?
It's a lot of that in there.
This is
I'm
true.
sorry, Jamal. You said
No,
something.
no, you're good. Well, here's the thing. In reality, that story about this virgin birth, okay, the first gospel dated that was still 30 to 40 years after the death of Jesus, supposed death of Jesus. All right. The first gospel that was written was actually Mark.
Yes, sir. Speak on it.
Okay? So if you want to look at
Yeah.
the law of first, if we want to say first means original, if we want to say it that way, if you want to believe that the narrative has some truth to it. The original story, or the first, was Mark. Mark did not include anything about a virgin birth. There was the first story of Jesus' birth was nothing about a virgin, nothing about his birth. Didn't even see that to be important. It starts with Jesus at 30 years old getting baptized. That's how the story starts. Nothing about genealogy, none of that in the
How do we
first
just
story.
start there at 30 years? How do we start there?
Yeah, but my point is, this writer didn't see it as significant enough to say anything about his
A
birth.
virgin birth. Yeah.
So probably there was no virgin birth.
Can I
Matthew
step in? Yes,
is
sir.
the one Matthew adds the story of the virgin birth to make the story more convincing, okay? And also, but watch this. Now, I've dissected this thing. We ain't got time to do it right now, but I'm just going to give you some bullet points. Also, Matthew does this because he's now trying to appeal to a Jewish audience. So what he does, he takes a writing from the Jewish writings in what we call the Old Testament. Okay, he takes writings from the Jewish writings of Isaiah chapter 7 that talks about this person that's going to be born of a virgin, puts it in his story, and actually references back to that scripture because he's trying to convince the Jews that his story is right. Okay. But what he refers to in Isaiah about a virgin birth, first of all, was not even the actual word was not even virgin as we call a virgin. It meant young lady. Second, what Isaiah was writing about that Matthew was referring to was not written about Jesus. It was written to the king Ahaz and was fulfilled if it was true, was fulfilled in King Ahaz's day, telling him that this woman among you, you think less of these people, this particular group, you think so less of them, but out of this group is going to be a young woman that's going to have a baby, and they're going to defeat I can't remember the group of people that they were going to defeat, but they're going to defeat these people. That's what the story is about. It wasn't even about Jesus. Okay, I'm done.
Can I touch on that? Can I touch on that? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Bishop.
Bishop, I'm so glad that you're a man of study.
Hit it with us, Bishop Powell.
Let me go ahead and add my thumbprint on that. Well, when you talk about the four gospels, you talk about almost a 4th century later period, okay? Okay, you talking about 400 years later.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, when you study the gospel, the canons, the gospel all have X on there. No name on there anyway.
None.
They have no names. So what do you do when you want to make something believable? You put TD Jakes on the poster. They'll come.
I know where you're going.
Have you ever been swallowed?
So if I put TD Jakes come to your town, y'all sell out.
All right. Yeah.
So that's how you got to approach the gospel. And guess what? When you're dealing with that buster named John and Revelation, they barely made it in because they to this day they still a forgery. They consider forgeries. But they don't have Bible studies anymore. I call it, it's a practice, it's a dress rehearsal for the heist gonna take place Sunday. They practicing what they're gonna rob you on
Right.
Sunday.
Right.
It's a prep rally.
Right. A pep rally.
A
Yeah.
pep rally. Yes, I like that.
And that's what I call church. That's what I call religion. When you go to church, it's a religious pep rally because ain't nobody questioning
I
nothing.
tell you what, Bishop, go to your town. Walk into any Bible study. They not having no teaching because they don't even touch what we talking about. Bible studies, and when you ask pastors the hard
questions. Yeah. Yeah, the uncomfortable questions.
The uncomfortable truth.
Them questions that's gonna make you say, I'm gonna get back to you on that one, brother. Yeah. Because that would be me in Bible study.
And let me just throw this in here real quick. While we're talking about these gospels, man, these were not even written by disciples of Jesus. You brought up an excellent point. How many years after Jesus' death some of these things were written? These guys were dead. The average lifespan, wasn't even that long for something to be written 40 years after the death of Jesus. Come on now. These men were not living to 70 years old in this day. No, they were not.
Correct.
Okay? They didn't write these stories. Plus, I'm going to tag on to this. This is something that I never even thought about until this week. Matter of fact, I think it was earlier today. Matthew couldn't have been written by Matthew because watch what it says. I just pulled it up. Matthew 9:9 says, this is Matthew, y'all. Matthew 9:9. And as Jesus passed forth from thence, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the receipt of customs, and he said unto him, follow me. And he arose and followed him. Why the hell would Matthew see Matthew? And Jesus saw a man named Matthew.
Okay,
Paul, Bishop. If Matthew wrote it, he would have said, and Jesus saw me and said unto me. He wouldn't be saying, and Jesus saw Matthew and said unto Matthew.
Yes, sir.
That's like the dumbness of Moses writing about his own death. Come on, please.
Look here. You better not bring that up.
Bishop, I need you to backpack on that. I need you to go say that again. What that scripture say again?
When you go to Bible school, Matthew ain't coming to chapter 9.
In Matthew?
Yeah.
That what you talking about? The one I read?
Yeah, she said.
Yes. Yeah. Look.
Run it back again. Yeah,
okay.
That edible kicked in, and I'm not sure if I heard the correct thing. Like,
so Matthew
I'm so
supposedly
right now. I'm not sure if I heard the right thing.
You heard
it right.
So Matthew, supposedly a disciple of Jesus, wrote the book of Matthew. And Matthew says in Matthew 9:9,
right?
And Jesus passed forth from thence and saw a man named Matthew sitting at the receipt of custom, and he saith unto him, follow me, and he arose and followed him. What kind of sense does that make?
You know why I'm laughing so hard? I'm laughing because it's scriptures like that we just totally looked over and then never questioned about, like the simplest stuff like that. Like we just let that skate pop, but we didn't let our logical, critical thinking minds take place when it's just that's why I'm laughing, because I can't believe that we fell for this.
And Moses supposedly writes, and Moses says, this is Moses writing, okay? And it says, and Moses was the wisest man, or the most humble man that ever lived.
That's how he wrote about himself.
Moses says that about himself. And Moses was the most humble. And Moses also writes, and they carried Moses' body and buried it in this place. Moses writes about his own death, his own funeral.
Moses is talking about himself in third person.
But he's able to write about where he was buried. What happened to his
body. Where he was buried at.
How can you write about your own funeral? Please tell me.
Like, come on. At what point do we not realize these are humans writing this book? Like, this ain't no guy telling you this.
They were all high. They was drinking that ayahuasca.
Yeah, man.
They were all high.
The sad part of it, people don't care about that.
They don't care.
People do not care about that. The inconsistencies, because as we can see, the generations are dying out. like our generation, some of our generations, our parents' generations, the things, those old school Pentecostal people, like we're the last breed of those old Pentecostal mindsets. The whole new set that's coming under us now is the whole God is love movement. It's all about love. It's all about kindness, which I totally get. But it's religious. It's still a religious mindset because y'all just skip past all the other stuff that God did in the Bible that we should definitely be questioning, because if it was a human that did these things, we would want them locked up. If somebody came out in pew 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 42 children because they got called a bald head scallywag, we would want them to get locked up. We would want justice. So why do we now say, well, because God did these things, because he did the very same thing, killed 42 children with 2 she bears because they mocked the bald head guy when kids going to be kids.
Well,
So if we can hold
Jesus was a
Joe
terrible
Blow for
baby.
that standard, then why we can't hold God to that same standard?
Well, because he was a terrible baby himself.
He was a terrible baby.
Reminds me of a wonderful show that I heard about. It's called We Call Bullshit.
We call bullshit.
That's what it is.
And here we are. Here we are.
Hey, we gotta give a round of applause for that one. We gotta give a round of applause.
I'm gotta go. Help me out with this here. If y'all ever get a chance to look at the Gospel of Thomas, he addresses Jesus' infant. Jesus was a terrible baby. He blind. He blind a couple. He pushed the boy off the roof and blinded. He did something because he would have got the pool. He was a terrible baby.
We might have to start doing some Book of Thomas videos.
Now, see, people don't know that.
We might
People don't know that. They don't know that. Oh yeah, he did do some of those videos, didn't he?
We need a terrible baby.
Yeah,
we need to kind of put this on the forefront about your Jesus.
He was a terrible dude. Now
I don't never hear the pastor speaking on all of this.
Well, because they don't know.
He was killing children.
He was killing them
for picking on
them. The pool.
He sure was.
Ooh, y'all.
I think he mocked one of the books. He mocked Lazarus or some joint like that. I really can't remember. But to me, we're gonna get ready to go ahead and close out. But to me, like I just have a hard time believing like I used to believe. Now I can say for myself, I'm not saying that there's a higher power. So I don't know. I don't know what that higher power is, but to put God, the biblical God, in that gap, to say that he is the end all to be all, with my logical mind, and I can't go along with that anymore, because I live in a reality where prayers do not compute to answers. Prayers are not conducive to our reality.
Right.
Because if prayers actually worked, we would see no more homeless, no more hungerness in the world. We would see people not being taken out of here. So like prayers only work for personal requests. That's all prayers.
You never see it work for the world.
You ask God to send you a husband. There you go. Huh?
I agree with you.
No woman should be asking. No woman should be asking God to send them a husband. He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Out of order.
Well,
I don't know who that message is for, but I hope they receive that, because that's going to be in a good clip.
Message.
Oh, if there is a God,
it's in your book.
If there is a God, and I use that term loosely, higher power, it's not what we were taught.
We think exactly.
It cannot be.
I agree.
Because if that God exists, if there's a God in the sky, if there's a God somewhere, it's just an observer. I mean, let's just be honest.
I agree.
It does
a creator,
not
maybe it just creates. Maybe that's all it's here to do is create. It don't answer no prayers. It don't guide you. It just creates. Maybe that's what it's here to do, or maybe that's what they're here to do. I don't know. Like maybe it just creates and keeps creating. Like it doesn't answer a prayer. Where do we get that a God answers?
I like that idea.
Before I go, I want to add one more. I want to throw one more stone. I got 5, but I ain't throw one yet.
Right.
All right.
All right, bitch.
I want to ask the pulpit, the church, why are y'all accepting these baby shower invites with no husband at the party?
Because it's gonna turn into a Diddy party.
Why are y'all accepting these baby shower invites with no husband nowhere in sight?
Pastor know what he doing.
Now, I do know of a church that will not allow that. If there is no husband, if the person had the baby out of wedlock, they won't allow a baby shower to take place at the church. They won't do it.
That's the
They
question I'm
won't
going to ask.
dedicate the baby.
But half the church be empty. Half the church would be empty these days because of that same reason. I mean, shit. All
Well,
I know
my
I was
question is
saved when I
this.
had all three of my children out of wedlock.
Okay.
My question is this.
You couldn't
Is
tell me I wasn't
God
going to nobody's heaven.
is God the final authority or is man the final
Man,
authority?
I mean, as it looks, it's man. As
Man.
it looks.
Man.
It does look that way.
Man.
Because I mean, they were swagging and surfing and walking
It's
it out.
definitely man.
Well, Kelly, if
Because
you
they
go to
don't.
a beat, if you go to I think they got a big old what's the Stella Award for the gospel thing? Is it called Stella?
Stella Award. Or is
Well,
it
you
Dove?
go
No,
there,
Dove Award.
Stella
the
Wood,
Dove
yeah.
No, it's
Award.
both
Guess
of them.
what?
There's a Stella and a
Guess who
Dove.
sponsored
Yeah.
that? Guess who sponsored that?
It's both of them. And then don't forget,
So
BET got the gospel
yeah.
awards too.
Well,
Okay.
you can go to any gospel concert. They got marijuana and they got a full liquor bar.
What?
Listen,
They got
Wow.
marijuana and they got a full liquor bar.
I ain't
listen.
surprised.
My type of place.
I'm gonna feed off of that in a second. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead because I wanna
I
feed
tell y'all
off of
what,
that.
if you think I'm lying, buy a ticket and see for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna
If
let
you think
y'all
I'm
go ahead
lying,
because
buy a ticket and see for yourself.
I wanna kind of touch on something dealing with that. So I don't
Well,
know
go ahead,
anybody.
Callie. Before you
Okay,
do, I
okay.
just want. It's no
Well,
different with that. William Murphy. He did not only did he did the swag and serve. I believe he's the same pastor who also did a private ceremony christening for the brat and her wife.
Yes.
Now that violates all kind of holy
Yep.
codes.
Yep.
Not when they make $1, don't.
But the church, but the thing of it is that I don't hear anybody from the Christian community talking about this
You
Yeah,
know
let
why?
me.
See,
Go ahead.
at
the
all.
problem is, remember, it goes back to the beginning. The same thing that happened in the beginning is happening right now. In the beginning, man created God in his own image. And what's happening now, in every century, in every season of time, man is recreating God in his own image. We've got a different version of God now. Back then, the
They
version of
keep
God was
creating.
holiness of hell, no gray area in between. But now they've created man. Man is doing what he did in the beginning. Man is creating a new God. Now this God is tolerant and loving, and then they create a new God. This God is inclusive and loves all except same-sex marriage. It's a new God.
I want to get my nephew's opinion. He's been really quiet and whatnot, especially on the religious piece. I just wanted him to chime in on Elijah being is 24 years old, coming from church. Your mama was our pastor. Your grandparents.
Oh wow.
My parents was our pastors, and me, all of us. So what is your take on this?
For me, church coming up was hearing a word from the Bible and then everyone starting to hoop and holler because the pastor was preaching good, and that church was an image for me at a younger age. I didn't really learn anything. I don't remember anything that was taught. I don't remember any of the scriptures. There was no lessons. And then when my mother took upon preaching and teaching, she took the word and constructed it into a way that also taught us life lessons that we could apply that I still use to this day. She was a very big
She
acronym
did.
person. One of
She did do that.
her favorite ones was PI, present, intentional, and engaged. I still use it in my everyday aspects. It's it's a different show from looking at it nowadays as seeing preachers on TV. Everything is a show. The bigger the church, the bigger the crowd, the better the music. It creates this aspect as if you have to have money to really show your congregation that you've made it big in the world of preaching, and that it's just truly a show. Like there's no life lessons that anybody is really teaching anymore. Nobody's really breaking down the Bible and trying to understand the context of that word, even with it being respectfully, I feel kind of out of date. You know,
Facts.
we've been using the same words for how long?
Yeah.
And preaching the same words for how long? And it just truly is just. I feel like church is just stuck in the time loop.
Yeah.
They haven't moved forward, and they don't want to move forward. And anybody who talks about moving forward is seen as somebody who's given up, an outsider, outcast, doesn't understand, lost faith, or whatever the case may be. Like that, if somebody leaves church nowadays or goes to another church, the crucifixion that happens behind that is mind-boggling. It's an
So
interesting
basically,
shift.
church is like a big. It's just like a big clickety
Church is a
club.
reality
It's like a
show.
big club. It's a click.
Church is a reality show.
Yep. What I said earlier today.
Is that why young people are not going to church? You feel there's a lot of young people who not going to church. If they do go, they go because
Well,
again their parents are making them go sometimes.
exactly.
So
I
is
was
A lot of
is
these
that
young people are
are you able to speak
thinking.
to all of them? But I'm just
when I
wondering.
was when I was younger, there were times I'd ask mom like, "Do I have to go to church this Sunday because I'm not gonna do anything but kind of just sit there?" Even the older kids, like when I grew up a little bit, and I was sitting back there with them, like we listen, but we start to get distracted by a certain point because it's like, okay, what are we really talking about? Like, and then we get judged for showing up a certain way, or I thought it was come as who you are. Which one is it?
Mm.
I thought I was loved as who I am. Which one is it?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
These
You
young
want us
people
to
are
my.
show up, but then
thinking.
you contradict us the second we walk in the door, and then we the talk of the church if we don't show up anymore, or after the service, everybody giving you those looks. Like it's
Woo.
what do y'all want the
He said,
young
"Woo."
people
You just had a
what do
memory,
y'all want
huh?
the young people to do?
These young people are asking questions, and it's not
Like,
making
but
sense.
it's nothing,
It's not making
nothing
sense.
Yes.
making
That's what's
sense for me in
happening. This
church
is
when I
why
was
they're
younger at
leaving. This
all.
is why they're not going to church. They're
None of
asking
it.
questions. They're not just believing things. And remember, I said when it comes to this religion and this book, us thinkers clash with this book. Why? Because we're
Because like,
thinking.
we're going
We're
to ask
asking
questions like,
questions. We're thinking
where did
logically.
this?
We don't just
Yeah,
believe.
we can't just accept.
We
Thinkers
can't just.
cannot just accept. There has to be some type of proof, story that like something is behind it. There's some theory that led to this being what it is.
So when they talk about that great fall away, there's going to be a great fall away. That just sounds like to me they're saying, yeah, they're not going to stay asleep forever.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Facts. Yes.
They're
Yes.
not going to be fooled
Definitely.
by this forever. There's going to be a great fall. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in that fall
As
away.
Nakia said, it's not mathing.
The math ain't
Nakia said
math.
it's not mathing. The
Math ain't
math ain't
adding up.
mathing.
One
Nope.
guy,
Math
I
ain't
mean,
mathing.
I
one
gotta step
devil.
off, y'all.
All right.
I gotta step
Please,
off. Nice talking,
Bishop.
y'all. Peace.
I mean, just,
Have a
let's
good
just,
one, boss. Have a great one, Bishop.
All right, Brian. Thank you so much for joining in,
so
and we appreciate you so much.
No problem.
it's just so many questions. Like, people don't ask, like, y'all don't ask these questions. One devil, all these gods, all these different gods, and one devil is running the world. One devil. Y'all say the devil is busy. So I asked, well, what is God doing? Well, the devil's busy. What is he doing? Because we see the devil's busy.
That's good.
What you call
What
that?
is God doing while the devil's being
That's
busy?
good.
I mean, I'm just going off
Bring
of
your
what.
think away.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Like, I hear y'all say this. I don't say this. This is what you believers say.
Yeah.
The devil sure is busy. Well, what is God doing while this devil is busy? Because if I'm going to entertain this, we see what the devil's doing. When are any of these guys going to show their faces to deal with it?
Yeah,
we didn't create this devil.
That's right. It's your problem, God.
It's your problem, God.
You made him.
Hey, you kill everything else, God. You won't kill that devil. You want to know why?
Including your son. That was your
You
solution
killed your
to the
son,
problem.
God. You created your son to kill your son because of your BS that you created.
Instead of killing the devil and ending the whole
And you
problem.
don't kill the devil. Why? Because it would be suicide in this religion thing.
Can't kill himself.
Can't kill himself.
Can't kill himself.
If God kills the
Can't kill
devil,
himself
there
at
goes
all.
the religion. Okay?
And
we'll
I
understand this book
feel
is
that's
a
why
book
these
of,
preachers, they feel
this book is a book of balance. Read the book. It's a book of balance. The whole book. Balance.
Wow.
and I fully believe that's why believers do the same things as non-believers, and that's why this pastor had no problem. He had no conviction of playing secular music in the church.
He was
Because
getting in touch with
they
his,
know.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He
No,
was
go ahead.
getting in
I was
touch
finished.
with-
It's me, this
he was
echo.
getting in touch with his authentic self. Okay? He was getting in touch with, he was showing his humanity, who he really is.
Who he is.
That's the problem. We need to get rid of this separation. And that's what all religions do. Including a lot of spirituality. It just brings division and separation, as if this particular religion or this particular group of people is different from this group of people because they have something special inside of them or have some special knowledge that the other doesn't have. It's not true. We're all human. And Murphy was showing his humanity.
He was doing what he do. I agree.
That's true.
So at some point,
that's true.
At some point, I asked somebody if somebody told you the truth about your God or that Bible, and would you reject it or would you accept it? Because here's the thing: that same God that y'all say won't he do it is the same God that y'all say is busy running the earth, tearing up the earth. The same one. I mean, when you read the book,
I think my favorite.
I make peace.
Yep.
And I create evil.
Yes.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
Yep.
Balance.
Isaiah 45 and 27, I think.
Balance.
27.
Isaiah 45:7. One day
my favorite.
This God is the same as the devil. This is an alter ego. When he want to blame the bad, he blames
Jesus and Lucifer was they call what, the bright and morning stars. They both have the same name. They're both the bright and morning stars. Both of them, the same name.
The devil punishes bad
my
people.
favorite scripture. Right.
What's wrong with that? What's the problem with that? The devil punishes
what's funny to me in the Bible is Job and God and the devil having a Randy and Duke Mortimer moment where they bend over Job's life. Literally, this man is minding his entire damn business, and here come God. And the crazy part about it is God is the one that introduced the bet, not Satan.
Yeah.
And everything got to go through God in the first place.
God's a
so the devil can't tempt anybody without God's permission.
Can't do nothing until he gets God's permission. God got to sign that permission slip. Come on, y'all.
Got to sign off on it. So
God got to sign the permission. The devil can't do nothing. He got to sign his permission slip. Just like the lion spirit. That lion spirit that showed up to God about the prophets. He didn't just show up and go down there to the prophets. He had to stop first at the principal's office and talk to God. I need a permission slip, God, to go down here and be
sent him there.
God said, not only will you go do it, you will succeed in being deceitful.
Woo! Yep.
Wow. Look, if believers are not seeing that one scripture alone, right there, should cause anybody to raise their eyebrows. Like, wait a minute, God, hold on. You say what now?
There's also a verse where
the lion spirit is successful at being deceitful.
Say you're gonna be successful,
Oh,
and then
wow.
the other verse, the guy says, "Oh Lord, you have deceived me, and I was deceived." He didn't say, "Oh devil, oh Satan, you have." He said, "Oh Lord, you have deceived me." This book is a book of balance.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something dangerous.
We skip over the words.
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna
No,
tell
I
you.
was just saying we skip over the words.
We do. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you something that Christians don't realize either about this deceiver called God. Jesus even according to the narrative, Jesus refers to this deceiver and he's referring to God, not our idea of the devil.
Of the devil.
John chapter 10, Jesus says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Who was a murderer from the beginning? The devil ain't murdered nobody. God was the one murdering from the beginning. Jesus was talking about that God. That's what he was talking about. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. You know, there's no truth. It was God.
It was God. It's God that do all the stuff in this book. That's what I be trying. And what he doesn't do, he has it ordered to be done. He orders it to be done.
And he tells these people, these same people, I thought about it. Before that, he says to these leaders, these Jewish leaders, he says, ye, before he talks about who the liar was, he says, you leaders, religious leaders, you are of your father, the devil. And the works of your father you will do. Who was their father? Their father was God, the God of Abraham was their father. And they even said that. And Jesus says, yep, you are of your father, the devil, and the works of your father you will do. For he was a liar from the beginning and abode not in the truth.
Now let me say this real quick, okay? Now I'm listening to now you hear as we're reading this book.
Yeah.
And listen, what the point I'm getting ready to make, okay? We're reading this book and we're understanding things and we're pointing out things. Why? Because we were created. If you say this God created us, right? This God created us with this organ called a brain that comes with different tools to figure things out in life. So what if this religion is put here for a reason? Like, it's not what it's supposed to be. It's not what we're supposed to be following. And you should be using your brain that you were created with. Your God is saying, hey, use your brain. In that book, humans wrote that. This God is saying you were created with common sense, logic, belief, reasoning, problem solving, but you choose to just believe. Listen, man, just think about this in life. Anybody telling you not to use your brain to think and just wants you to believe something probably does not have your best interest at heart.
Not at all.
Sounds like they're getting ready to scam you, con you, harm you, lead you to the slaughter. Anybody that doesn't want you to think, just believe me. Just trust me. Just believe blindly. Don't worry about it. I got you.
And what if that's what it was all about, man?
Yeah.
What if that's the test of life? To see if you will think and
figure it out. See if you will think. See if you will use your brain to think and not just believe. That's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
As in hindsight, as I go back and I examine, again, not saying that the story is true, but as I go back and really deeply analyze the stories of the life of Jesus, it's almost like that's what Jesus was really doing. Because he spoke against the law. He spoke against the prophets. He spoke against the beliefs of Judaism. He really, even though he was a Jew, he spoke against that stuff, man. You know, it's like he was, again, not saying he existed, but I don't know. But it's like he was saying, he was saying, wake the hell up.
Yeah, it's not like you still can't. You can read the stories and get lessons learned from the stories. I wouldn't say you wouldn't. But to believe that there's some invisible man in the sky watching over everybody and he's gonna condemn you to hell if you don't choose, like come on, man. Like at what point do, like, we've never seen none of this. Like, you can't prove nobody from that book. Why do you believe it? Like, listen, Okay, let me say this. War. Let's pay attention to this. I would think you going to war, you have to have a mind to operate in war. Okay? War. Let's think, y'all. War. Now I'm going to ask y'all this. What war do y'all know ever in history has been won by you loving an enemy? That don't sound like a suicide mission to y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love my enemy. And we're at war. Wait a minute. Not only do you want me to love my enemy, you want me to just believe. Not only that, wait a minute. You give me your God to pray to at war? How does this work? I'm praying to my enemy's God? How does this work? Anything that was ever good for the slave master has never been good for a slave. How do I pray to the same God as my enemy? Now, I'm going to ask you one more thing.
I apologize. It kicked me off and I couldn't get back on, y'all. I'm so sorry. I
you good?
had to log in on my phone.
You back. One more thing I want to say. I'm dealing with war. I just want y'all to follow me how my mind works. We were taught this religion stuff young. Now I'm stepping over here into black folks. Us in these religions. Okay? War. War is not only physical, it's also psychological. Okay? And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about the mind right now and how much of a hold this religion stuff has on our people. War. Tell me what position in war. You're in war now. You're fighting. You're on the battlefield. Tell me what position this would be in war. With your head down, knees on the ground, and you're bowing. What position is that in war? Because it's definitely not a fighting position.
Surrender.
You can't even run in that position. So if someone wants to keep me with my head down, knees on the ground, bow down, that's submission.
Yeah, that's surrender and submission.
Look how much of a hold religion has on our people, man. To the point it doesn't even require you to think. It just wants you to believe. Remember I said, anybody that just wants you to believe something with no evidence may not have your best interests at heart. I think your God probably would want you to use the tools you were created with in your brain to figure out things that aren't right in the universe. It's just, I don't know. I just give your God more credit than I think y'all do. That's just what I think. I think I give your God more credit. I don't think your God finds it very intelligent for you to just believe something. And he created you with a bunch of tools so you wouldn't just have to believe something. I think if your God wanted you to just believe, probably would have just gave you belief. Never even created any other tools. I don't understand why we have these other tools of the brain.
If we just gonna throw all that out the window when you get to church, we throw all of that out the window.
And so much of a hold that these religions have on our people, so much of it, because I'm telling you, to the point we don't fight back. We don't fight because we're loving at our enemies and they're programming us. They are programming our children. I don't care what nobody says. Religion has an agenda, especially on us, our people. It's to keep us controlled. It's to paint an image inside of our children's minds, especially to see our men head down, on the knees on the ground, bowing down in submission. That's a psychological picture they are programming over and over and over and over again. Just imagine yo uncles and daddies and all of them at church on their knees crying and whining to some imaginary thing in the sky that they never seen. They tell you to fear this imaginary boogeyman dressed in red called a devil. This is what we teach our children.
Yes.
Young.
Yep.
I was taught that young. I just never connected with it. But you tell your children the boogeyman don't exist. Ain't no boogeyman. But then you tell your children about this busy ass imaginary boogeyman in religion, this Freddy Krueger dude named the devil or Satan or Lucifer.
What's that you always say? Religion is for fairy tales for grown-ups.
Yeah, it's a grown-up. Listen, if you look up the definition of a fairy tale, look up the definition of what a fairy tale is.
Okay.
And you remove a children's story and you put in an adult or a grown-up story and see if it don't match up to the Bible. See if it doesn't match up to a grown-up fairy tale.
Indeed.
It does.
It definitely does.
Indeed. And Callie, I think it was always meant to be that way. And honestly, I think whoever the original writers are, whoever they are, we don't know. I think they meant it to be for literature, for enjoyment.
Yeah, just to take life lessons. Yeah, like stories.
Yeah.
Listen, I showed somebody this, right? Because there was this young lady, she kind of found me intriguing on why, how I got to this point of where I am. And I told her it was questions. It was questions. And I'm looking at what's in that book versus reality, and it's not adding up. It's not mapping. These extraordinary claims of any of these guides, of any of these religions, are not adding up to what I'm seeing in reality. Because if we want to be all the way real, if pull up was a person, then the devil is real as hell. Because he pull up. The devil pull up. I mean, according to y'all, because he busy.
Right.
Now, I'm looking at this world.
Right.
I'm looking at the world in reality.
Okay.
And if y'all are telling me it's the devil doing all this stuff, well, the devil, if pull up was a person, the devil is active. Where's the guides?
You can't be zooming in like that. They didn't seen I need a haircut. Can't zoom in that far. Woo. They see him edge of line.
You look fine. You look good. It keep kicking me out and stuff. I don't know. This thing is like I said, the devil busy. That's what like Callie said. The devil busy.
The devil busy. But check this out. Check this out though, DeWanda. Another thing real quick. When I ask about this devil, right? Because see, sometimes I move away from the God thing because they can't tell me nothing about God. They can't tell me what God looks like. They can't tell me how to identify God. Nothing. So I ask them about any other characters in the book. Can you? Is there? You can't tell me nothing about them either. Okay. Well, what about the devil? What is that? What is he? What is it? I mean, can you tell me what does a devil look like so I know it when I see one? Like, how do I identify this devil? Since we can't identify God, we can't identify no characters of this book. Do the devil? Can we at least identify that? Is there a red dude in horns? Where did we get that image from? Where did we get this devil in horns and this red image of this? Where did that come from?
Mythology.
Somebody mind.
Right, mythology. Santa Claus. Santa is Satan. It's just really so bad. I missed a good part of what you were saying earlier, so I don't know if I'm going to be piggybacking off of you or not. But I just when I was used to be in church and used to be, well, I thought I was saved. And from what I don't know. I was only saved from whatever I was told I was being saved from, and it just to me, like seeing these kids grow up in church and they're making them get baptized and all this stuff when they don't really understand the meaning behind baptismal and what you're supposed to do after you get baptized and the life you're supposed to live according to the Bible, and all of this stuff. So it just growing up, I had a lot of questions growing up, and it drives you damn near to a psychological breakdown because
trauma center.
on one hand you have all of these human emotions, and I'm talking about, I'm trying to keep it clean because I saw my little great nephew on here earlier, but he's ain't no damn school tomorrow. They cancel school tomorrow. But anyway, you have human desires where you want to have sex, you know. So it's just some things that you can't pray away, and those one of those things you just can't pray away, because God, you equipped me with these human desires to have to procreate. And so procreation doesn't start when you get married and in church. It starts before that. So how am I supposed to pray away these desires that God has given me without sinning? You know, these are types of questions that I used to have in my head, especially when I would see older people in church. Y'all out there doing the same thing. Y'all out there sinning. Y'all out there having sex. You're out there coming back to church with these babies and up from the ministers that's in the church. But yet y'all expect us to hold things to a different standard when we're children, and y'all as adults can't even abide by the same word. I just have a problem. I always had a problem with that.
There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems, especially when we step into adulthood and we still follow this, right? I'm not trying to offend anybody. Listen, my parents are still preachers.
Right.
Both of them. So I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I'm saying at some point, it has to be said. Okay? You can't tell me why y'all shouldn't get a check following these religions. Okay? First of all, watch this. Just follow me here.
Yeah.
Y'all hear voices in y'all head. Yeah. Y'all call it a guide.
Yeah.
Y'all say it's a guide.
And
people give you a pass because you say it's a guide. But then you see somebody on the streets talking to their voices in their head, and you call them crazy.
Yep.
And you think they should be in a mental institution, or they should be getting a check. How do we know they're not talking to God?
Right.
You know? But this.
Wow.
Watch this. This is why I say y'all should get a check. Because I don't understand. This is just the way my mind works. Y'all get up every week. Every week. Y'all get up and y'all go to this specific building. Y'all get dressed up and everything to go to this specific building to catch a ghost. A ghost that don't never last throughout the week. Because you got to come back next week and try to catch another ghost. What is the purpose of this ghost that y'all chasing? And does this ghost want to be caught? Is all I'm saying. Because y'all keep losing them.
Is it the same ghost that got Mary pregnant? Is it the same ghost that got Mary pregnant?
Listen, but
I don't know.
But y'all don't think
I'm just wondering, is it the same ghost?
Y'all don't think y'all should be on somebody's psych ward? Like y'all, I mean, none of this stuff you can prove. Now watch this. This is where it gets even worse. This is where it gets worse to me, because I watch y'all lie to yourselves. I watch grown folks make up lies and excuses for their guides, and their guides don't come through. Okay? But you go to church. Now, would I be wrong if I became a pastor? Would I be wrong if I decided to become a pastor? Because I'm realizing this is an actual business. This religion thing. And
that's the reality.
This is big business. So would I be wrong? But Bishop, watch this. Would I be wrong if I wanted to join this business and lie to these people on purpose? But I mean, because these people actually are paying me to lie to them.
Yep.
They're paying me to come every Sunday and just make them feel good. They don't want no truth. They don't care about no truth. They want to feel good. They want you to make them feel good. Religion is nothing but a dope game. Okay? It's the dope game. Just like in the streets. You have you, the customer. You come into the trap house, the church. Your preacher is the dope man.
Yeah.
Your preacher gets you high on this Jesus drug, this Jesus dope, this gets you drunk off the grape juice wine, sells you. This nigga sells you a dream. Oh, I got that good false hope over here, my nigga. I got that false hope. I got that A1 false hope over here. He sells you false hope, fear,
Yeah.
false hope, and fear.
Empty promises.
And y'all pay for this every Sunday. Yep. Y'all pay him to do this to y'all. That nigga, the dope man, the pastor, the dope man, he takes your money and he jumps in his SUVs, his limos, and he goes home to his mansion where he balling. You leave out of there high off Jesus. And when you come down off that Jesus high, you got them same problems you had going in.
And Callie, let me tell you.
You got to catch a bus.
Let me tell you what makes it worse, brother. I've been in the back rooms. And like this one prophet, that's a well-known prophet, came to my church years ago when I was still doing that. And it was an accident, actually. I accidentally caught a private conversation between him and his administrator / musician. Be careful because I don't want to say the name. But the prophet finished preaching at my church, was walking back to the office, which is kind of far away from the sanctuary, walking back to the office, and then the musician came around the corner and says, "Hey, I'm gonna say his name." He said, "Hey, such and such, hey, you racked up on him, man. You racked up." You know, he was and they was like, "Yeah, man, I did." And they were really having a conversation about this and bragging about how much money he got out of the people, man. Yeah. They know what they're doing. There is no fear of any God. They know
it's not.
God is not real. They know it, brother.
They know it. Okay, and you as the believer, when I tell you, anybody that don't want you to think and use your brain, ask questions, does not have your best interest at heart.
Does not.
You pay these pastors to lie to you every year. Do you ever think that? You pay to be lied to every day.
Yeah,
religion is emotions. Emotions. Your emotions. And you pay to feel good when you go to church. Because them same problems you went in there with, more than likely when you come down off your Jesus high and chasing that ghost, your light bill still gonna be due. Jesus pick and choose, or these guys pick and choose whose prayers they gonna answer and whose ones they gonna ignore. I don't know how they do it, but this is who y'all worship. Okay? Y'all figure it out. He got a VIP list somewhere.
I have a quick question. I have a quick question. Why is it that they have to continuously catch the Holy Ghost? Like, shouldn't that be residing in them at all times?
Why do y'all keep losing this ghost? And some of y'all lose it before y'all even leave the church. Some of y'all even lose it before you walk out the church door.
I mean, as soon as they leave the church.
What's the purpose?
Call bullshit.
We call bullshit in here.
I'm telling you. And like Callie is saying, man, the problem is people are not thinking. If they would just take some time to think, it doesn't make sense. If you say the Spirit is in you and with you at all times, why we got to come up here and get, like you said, catch the Spirit or get the Spirit or get filled every Sunday? It doesn't make sense.
And it seems like we only catch it at this one location.
You gotta go.
At this one location. Because I ain't never seen nobody jump up on their conference table at work in the middle of a business meeting and caught the ghost and to get the
Oh, hell no.
I ain't never seen that.
No.
It seems like y'all know when to catch this ghost and when to let that ghost. I'll meet you at Sunday.
These people in this generation, brother, they playing with God. Whether God, I ain't talking about whether God is real or not. But their perception of God, they playing with it, man. They are not serious. They are not sincere. Like you said, we only see them catching the Spirit when they on the internet, you know, being recorded while they dance and shout. So that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. Now, if you go back to my grandmother, it won't even like that. Whether this thing was a delusion, whether it was real or not,
they believed it.
Those people, they were sincere. How you talked about just catching it in church? Not my grandmother. In the grocery store.
That's right. No, you're right.
At the bank. You're everywhere.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. I mean, we're in 2024.
They're not sincere. They're not authentic. And I can't.
Now this goes back to the Atlanta pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Yes.
looking at you. I mean, you actually played the real lyrics in the church. This is why I'm telling y'all, like, this is why I'm saying, at what point do y'all say, man, maybe this religion stuff, maybe we're supposed to point out that it ain't for us. Maybe we're supposed to wake up and say, yeah, we're not supposed. It sounds like a leading to the slaughter to me. That's what it sounds like to me. Your pastor, listen, anything you can find on the streets, you can find in the church.
Yes.
God ain't gonna clean his house. He ain't gonna turn over no tables no more.
Nope.
It's not even safe. It's not even safe to go to church anymore.
The Bible.
Say it again.
Listen,
God used to physically walk with them in the Bible, but we don't. He stopped doing that.
He stopped healing.
He stopped all of that.
What is going on? All these extraordinary claims don't add up to reality.
Here's what I say: if it's not happening now, it never happened.
Yeah,
it never happened.
Right.
Because
especially if everything
that it happened.
For a theory to be proven as true, or even as a theory, it must be something that can be tested and repeated and consistently get the same results. If it cannot be tested and repeated and not get the same consistent results, it's not real and it can't be trusted. So if ain't nobody walking on water today, then nobody ever walk on water.
Yeah.
If donkeys and snakes ain't talking today, donkeys and snakes ain't never talked. I'm sorry. If dead people ain't getting up out of their graves today, then dead people never got out of their graves. It's got to be tested and repeated.
Why would I just believe that? Why wouldn't I use my brain and critically think? Why wouldn't I use my common sense?
Because we have not us, we're thinkers. But at one point, because we had not grown up.
We were there at one point. Yes.
We were there at one point.
Let me say this. Ain't nothing wrong with imaginary friends when you need them. Because when some young people, that's how they got through life.
They cope,
by having imaginary friends.
That's true.
But hell, when you grow up, you need to let the imaginary friends go. Okay? But if you still,
and that's what is that what Paul was saying? When I was a child, I acted as a child, and when I became a man, I put away these childish things. So when you, as children, minds are so, they're like we always say, they're like sponges. They soak up everything. So it's easy to manipulate children. Quick,
it's easy to manipulate children. This is why I need you to come as a child. I need you to come as a born again. I need you to be a child. I don't need you to think. I need you to believe. Don't think. Don't ask questions, because we're going to have problems if you think and if you ask questions. Just believe and live in fear. Live in fear. I need that fear. You gotta fear this religion shit.
Yeah.
What happens when you let that fear go and you be like, man, soon to come. Y'all been saying that. Soon to come. You know what I be thinking? This is what I be thinking. If we in real life, right? Let's just say we met a nigga, right? We met a dude, right? And this nigga got 1 million. We find out this nigga got hella aliases. Hella aliases. And we be like, why you got so many aliases, nigga? Like, damn. Probably because that nigga's hiding something. He's probably on the run somewhere and he's using different names. I look at Jesus and I be like, this nigga got a lot of aliases. Why? Why does he have so many?
His name is Emmanuel, but they don't call him that.
Emmanuel got so many aliases.
And nobody called him Emmanuel.
Niggas don't call him Emmanuel.
And nobody even called him that when the Bible says, and they shall call him Emmanuel. Nobody in the Bible.
Nobody say Manny. Nobody call on Manny.
Watch this.
Is this his screen
Nobody
name?
calls on Manny.
Is that Jesus' screen name or something?
I'm gonna tell you one scripture that they wish they could erase out of the Bible if they really.
That's his DBA. That's his do business ass.
Here's one scripture they wish they could erase out of the Bible if they really read it and understood it. Hebrews 6:1. It says, watch this, y'all. It says, therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Christ. It says, leave them. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrines of Christ, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works and of faith towards God, of the doctrine of baptisms and of laying on of hands and of the resurrection of dead and of eternal judgment. This dude, whoever wrote Hebrews, said y'all need to leave all that stuff. Leave even the principles of the doctrine of God. He said, leave it and go on to something better.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Sound like he's telling you to use your brain. Sound like he's saying, hey, my nigga, use your brain.
Yeah, let that shit go. Let all that shit go. Everything you read about, he says, let that shit go.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? So I was talking to this sister about these religions and this, and she was saying, it was making, things I was saying was making sense to her, but she couldn't let go of the fact that she kept saying, but there's some truth in that Bible. There's things you can find in that Bible that are true. And I said, all right, let's do this. I went and I pulled up the movie. I went and I pulled up the movie The Wiz. Okay? And I showed her.
Was that night we was on live till like 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, not her. But we woke her up that night.
Okay.
We woke her up. But no, this is another sister. And I had to show her, right? I call this book a grown-up fairy tale book. But it's got to be real because there's some true things in here. So I went and I pulled up the movie, The Wiz. And I showed her, this is a fairy tale movie, okay? But inside of this fairy tale movie, you can hear Diana Ross telling Michael Jackson, hey, just a little bit of confidence, get your balance together, and you're going to be just fine. That's some truth in a fairy tale. Okay? Yeah. I just want to show you, we're looking at a fairy tale called The Wiz. But that was some very truth that she said. Yeah. She says to Michael Jackson says to her, if only I have a brain. And she said, hey, everybody has a brain. That's a fairy tale. But what she said was true.
That's true.
No matter at what level of your brain working on, everybody has a brain. You know what I'm saying? That was some truth in a fairy tale. So this is what I'm trying to show her. Just because there's some truth in this book doesn't make it real.
Stupidity in it.
It's a story. There's stories. Lessons of life in this book. Like things like good, evil in this book. Lessons you can take from. Things you can learn from. And also balance.
Balance, yeah.
Balance. It was right there in Isaiah 45:7. If there's darkness, there has to be light. Balance. Good, there has to be evil. Balance. Like God, devil. Balance.
They all the same. One and the same. It's been about 2 hours, fellas.
I gotta go record, so I gotta
close out. So yeah, Elijah, I'm gonna let you put the spotlight on you and let you say some closing words and maybe introduce and close yourself out.
How y'all doing? My name is Elijah Pinckney, known son of Grace Pinckney, grandparents Ludine and Alvin Pinckney of the island, you know. I was grateful to be here tonight and grateful to be here tonight and drop and bring in the young experience side of things and give a good perspective of how we've looked at things from the social media perspective, influence, to how we look at stars, and then also touch on the church aspect from our side about what we see and feel kind of from there, or at least what I've experienced in my own way. And I always watch the podcast, but it was very nice to be on here tonight. I heard a lot of good things, learned a lot of new things, and I was just truly grateful to be here and a lot of wisdom.
Much love, much love.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Jamal, Catley, which one of y'all want to go first?
It don't matter.
Don't matter whoever you put on the screen.
Yeah, I'm good.
There we go.
So for those who don't know me, my name is Chief Cali, man. I'm located here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. Both of my parents are still preachers to this day. And you know, my fight and my struggle that I'm trying to help our people with is understanding who we were right here on this land of America. This land. Okay. There's a lot of things in life we have to learn to unlearn, relearn again. I'm trying to get people to, I'm in the fight of getting our people to talk to their families because we've been lied to about who we are. You feel what I'm saying? There were a lot of reclassified people right here on this land of America who have been reclassified to Negroes, colored, and they were the original people of this land. We were taught Africa. We were given the Africa story. There's a lot of things debunking those things. So I am the creator of a docuseries on YouTube called Our Story, 1968, Indian Civil Rights. Those were our people back in 68 fighting for Indian civil rights. They were fighting for public Indian housing. Okay, they were fighting for the Indian Bill of Rights. A lot of your elders in your family told you they were Indian. But when they say they were Indian, you think they're talking about the Asian looking people that they show you on television. No, they're talking about those people in 68 that was marching with Dr. King and them for Indian civil rights. But, you know, this is what I do. Our Story 1968. We're working on season 2 right now. You can find Our Story on YouTube right now. Just type in Our Story 1968. You'll see me on the TV screen. But also, when it comes to these religions, I just think our people have to start waking up to think we are at war. We are in war for real. And war is not just physical. Our minds are being attacked. Our minds are being purposely programmed. One more thing I want to say about the religion thing too. There's a book that's still sold today called How to Make a Negro Christian. Mm-hmm. And they told you their plan on what they were going to do with this religion, their agenda, how to keep you in control. You don't have to hear it from me. You don't have to listen to me. The book still sells on Amazon. You can actually log onto YouTube and have somebody, they'll read it to you if you care enough. And you have to ask yourself, how are you still being fooled by religion? And they told you the plan that they were going to use. They gave you their God. You're at war and you're praying to their God. Come on, y'all. We got to start making things make sense. Get out your feelings. Because I know some people are listening to me right now and they're in their feelings. Oh, he's angry at God. Oh, he's mad. No, I just think. While y'all pray for me, I think for you. Okay? So it's dangerous to walk around just following stuff blindly, believing something because somebody said that's dangerous in everyday life. You don't teach your children to do that in everyday life. You shouldn't do it with this religion because those religions can lead to other things like politics, can lead over into relationships. It can lead over into medical. Don't worry about this prescription. Just believe it is what I said. Don't go research what I'm giving you. See how this starts with religion early. It's a domino effect. And these are the things that got us throw it off. So, man, that's my spiel, man. But the one I gotta shoot up out of here. I'm supposed to be recording, man. But I do have a EP I'm getting ready to drop called The Preacher's Son sometime this week.
Okay.
So, and you'll hear my takes on religion and my songs dealing with religion. But I got to get out of here because I'm definitely late for recording. So I appreciate you and Elijah, man.
All right, Chief Cali, have a good one, man.
Glad to see you here for the youth. And Bishop, man, you know I respect you, brother. Yes, all right, my sister, I'm going to holler at you.
Have a good one, bro. Stay with us.
Peace, y'all.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to put your link up there, too. Go follow your page as well.
I appreciate that.
I'll make sure I put the links up there for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Bishop Jamal Broadnax.
Hey, man. First of all, thank you, my sister.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate this this opportunity and this platform that you have to expose lies and to proclaim truth. I really appreciate it, man. teaching people to think.
Thank you.
But I am Jamel Broadnax. Everybody say Jamal because it looks like Jamal. It's actually Jamel, but that's all
Oh,
right.
it's Jamel. I apologize. Okay.
I mean, everybody gonna say Jamal because of how it's spelled. That's my mama's fault. Well, actually, the doctor's fault. They spelled it wrong. It's supposed to be EL. But yeah. So look, the only thing I'm gonna say is, and this is not just to Christians. This is to Christians, people that call themselves conscious, people that call themselves spiritual. Can we just be honest? Let's use honesty and let's walk in integrity and really examine the things that we believe and that we say that others should believe, the things that we say are right and correct. Can we really take a moment, have some integrity, look at these things and see what it is really doing for you? Is it really doing consistently? Like I said, 100% of the time. Because if it's truth, it's got to work every time, not just some of the time. It should be done, it should be repeated and tested, and you should get the same results every time. But I want to say religion and some of the even the practice of spirituality, and this is not to shame anybody, I'm just being honest. Some of the spiritual practices and religion are nothing more than tools to control you and to keep you from thinking for yourself. Okay, that's what it is. So I'm just going to say, be you, be true to you, be authentic, find out who you are, go on a journey, stop looking for a God and find you. Look for yourself. Look inside yourself and find that you inside of you that's been waiting to be discovered all your life. And don't be afraid of that person. Embrace everything about that person. Okay? Um, that's all I'll say tonight. I enjoyed this discussion. And you can follow me on Facebook, Bishop B. Jamel Broadnax, just like it is on the screen, except it has Bishop in it. You can follow me on TikTok. I don't do a lot on there, but I'm working on it. TikTok, I think it's the Conscious Bishop. That's conscious, the CONS, if I'm spelling it right, CIOUS. Okay, I think I spelled it right. Okay, but it's the Conscious Bishop on TikTok. It's also the Conscious Bishop on YouTube. So you can follow me there.
And I will drop those links and put those down there. I did that one for Callie. So if anyone want to follow Chief Callie and the Our Story, I know you guys can't see me. So you guys want to follow Chief Callie at Our Story. It's on YouTube as well as Facebook. And I will definitely put Bishop Jamel. Is it Jamel, right?
Yes, Jamel.
Did I say that one right? Did I say it right? I always call him. I always call him Bishop B. But
Right.
yes, I'll make sure I put the links down. I've already added Callie's link up there. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in and chiming in. Special thanks to the panelists. Kevin never had a chance to come on, but we will have him back again. And just to give a little backdrop of Kevin, he's the one that actually woke me up, if you will, from religion, from the eye lens that I had looking at religion. So I always give him a shout out for that, because it hadn't been for him helping me to see some things and me being open-minded at the time to even look and question the things. What really drove me to question the things that he was saying was that I set out to disprove everything that he was saying, when in fact he proved everything to me regardless. Like, so I just always have to give him his props for that. I just want everyone to just kind of think about, what we see may not always be the reality that we're looking at. We sometimes have a tendency to look past things because we may like a certain pastor, we may like a certain comedian, a certain artist, a certain athlete. However, just because we like these things does not change the fact that some of these things that these pastors and entertainers are doing, and the information that they're giving out and their behavior it is questionable. If we can look at someone on a daily basis, a regular Joe, and see them doing the same thing, we would look at them sideways. We'll question them. But because we nod our head to these athletes and to these people that we hold near and dear to our hearts, that we don't even really know these people, don't know these people at all, but we give them such high regard and make them to be these gods, if you will, without questioning anything that they do. And we just have to be really, really careful about that, because perception is everything. And our children that comes up behind us, these generations, they're looking at our patterns, they're looking at our behaviors. And if we don't model something new and something different, our people will always still be in the same predicament, in the same situation that they're in. And I just want to leave this with everyone right here. Remember, perception isn't everything. So be careful of who we put up on a pedestal, because who we think behind the scenes is not who we really think is behind the scenes. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to play this video on the way out. Thank you very much.
Mask on, fuck your mask on, mask on, fuck your mask on.
Tyler Perry fooled the whole black community. He got us to do what RuPaul couldn't get us to do. He got us to do what no one else, and he came up with an ingenious way to do it. He and he alone got black folk to accept drag. And you know how he did it? He did it through laughter.